forecast and town-by-town highs.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. We have a special guest with us tonight, Mark Edelman from Good to Be Alive. And of course, this is American Heart Month, and we've been talking about this all week. So glad to have you here with us. Briefly tell us a little bit about what Good to Be Alive is all about.
Good to Be Alive is the nation's first retailer of defibrillators, automated external defibrillators for personal use. Basically, we sell defibrillators to people, the ones that are in airports and businesses and schools, to people who perhaps are in high-risk populations or otherwise want to protect their family on a more broad basis. We sell defibrillators to folks for use in their homes.
Okay, what is the average person's risk of losing their life from heart disease, compared to auto accident or something like that, another cause?
You know, Holly, that's a big part of why the AHA, the American Heart Association, designated American Heart Month in February, because there's really a lack of awareness as to one's personal risk for heart disease. In fact, heart disease is the #1 killer in the industrialized world. So to answer your question, there's really no close second. It's sort of the #1 possibility, and if I may, of you and I passing unfortunately early, of anybody really walking around in society. For women, for example, it's more of a cause of death than the next 4 causes of death for women in the world. So it's really important to note that although as a society we've come to accept heart disease, and especially cardiac arrest, which I'll tell you is a subset of heart disease, and it's an interesting one because it strikes so suddenly. For 57% of people, cardiac arrest strikes with absolutely no warning. They didn't even know they had cardiovascular disease or anything of that nature. It may have even been just a temporary electrical problem with their heart. So as a society, we've come to accept those losses and feel like there's nothing we can do. Well, we came to find out in the 70s, 80s, there's a lot of great pharmaceutical drugs that we can apply, a lot of great heart-healthy habits that we can bring into our lifestyle. And even today, we're learning about new things that are happening. And this is what Good to Be Alive is focused on. And it's these automated external defibrillators, because defibrillators today have become so computerized and automated, like a lot of things in the computer age, they're completely foolproof. You can't hurt someone with them. You can only bring benefits. So it's a great way for someone to be prepared in their home.
And for somebody out there who sees this and says, well, they've heard this word, but they don't really know what it does and what it's all about, can you kind of explain that?
A defibrillator is really the only hope for someone who falls from sudden cardiac arrest. Basically, for the vast majority, that's according to the American Heart Association, and the overwhelming majority according to the Red Cross, a defibrillator is really the only way to turn around death. So within 5 minutes, this device would need to be used on someone to essentially correct an arrhythmia, a malfunctioning heart rhythm. And what it does is it essentially resets the human heart. And it used to be that only doctors and people on ambulances knew how to use them, but today they're fully automated where they're safe in layperson's hands.
And I've heard news stories a lot because I'm in the business. These stories come up and sometimes schools get them.
Right.
Have you seen that happen more so lately in recent years?
In fact, that's what's happening, and that's why so many of these are being bought for the home. As a matter of fact, around 30,000 people a year buy these for their home. And that's because for years now we've been putting them in schools, because the truth is we lose about 7,000 young people to cardiac arrest death on athletic fields every year, which is a terribly unfortunate loss, because essentially they're healthy people that have an electrical problem in their heart. And if a defibrillator's handy, like we've legislated in a lot of states for athletic fields for high schools, then we can turn that around. Frankly, if a defibrillator is used within 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're talking about a 95% resuscitation rate. So it's really an amazing thing. Here, let me show you a quick demonstration.
Okay.
I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to show you that they actually provide voice prompts for users, so that's really fail-proof, and it walks you through the process.
Adult patient, call for medical assistance.
You always call for medical assistance whenever you have a cardiac arrest.
Remove clothing from patient's chest to expose bare skin.
And what it does after that, it takes you through the next 3 or 4 steps to help someone in cardiac arrest. And then hopefully soon after EMS has arrived, you've corrected the heart rhythm, and you have a chance to save the person. Because really, without a defibrillator on hand, the national rates of survival for cardiac arrest out of hospital are roughly 5%. So it's really a dismal possibility. And the truth is, CPR is a wonderful thing, and I urge people to look into hands-only CPR, which we're talking a lot about during Heart Month. But really, all you're doing with CPR is buying time for a defibrillator to arrive. So that said, I know we have only a short time, and I would urge people to go to our website, where we have a section called Know the Facts About Heart Disease, specifically about cardiac arrest, and we're at goodtobealive.com, and you'll see the top tab, Know the Facts. As well, I urge people also to go to the American Heart Association's website at americanheart.org, where you'll see lots of wonderful information.
All right, Mark Edelman, thanks so much from Good to Be Alive.
Thanks for having us, Holly.
All right, buyer beware, especially when you